Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of the Dead Realms Campaign 2 series arc? Question mark. And we're gonna find out to see what it exactly is up there on the third floor. But first, let's just reintroduce our cast from the top of the Discord to the bottom. If you guys would like to reintroduce yourself to the audience.
Ryan Peppers, the Crocro, however you say it, cleric. Yeah, and I look like a chicken.
Equus, half orc druid.
Stitch Skin, Frankencockrow Ranger.
All right. That would be your cue, Mr. Friar Photo.
He's always muted.
You are muted. Interesting. There we go.
Hi, I'm Bob. I'm playing Friar Frodo. Odell.
All right. Our next one down past me.
Yo, I am Asclepion Bolts. That's the character I'm playing at least. You know, the crazy scientist doctor dude.
All right. And then our final player.
Hi, I'm Sirius. I'm playing Copper, a Copper Dragonborn monk.
All right. So with introductions out of the way, let's get a few things noticed first. First, if you would like to join us in our Discord, you could go ahead and join the Pocket Dimension. Not only is it a Discord for all your Dead Realm stuff, but we also running a bunch of other games such as Pathfinder. And I believe I call a Cthulhu game coming out, Matt. Am I right about that or am I wrong?
Okay. Someone's talking about it.
Someone's talking about it? Okay, cool. And other than that, there's a big community there. Go check it out. It's in the bottom of the description. Also, you could subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can catch up not only on season 1, but we'll always post basically this stream the following day if you are unable to access Twitch or what have you. But obviously, with like copyright claims and stuff like that, you can watch the full uncensored version on Twitch. But if not, you could just go to our YouTube channel and subscribe there. It's a lot more accessible. If you want to buy our merch, this Dead Realm merch, like this T-shirt and other such goodies like notepads and acrylic block art and coasters and other such things, you could go to redbubble.com. Our link is in the description below for all that stuff. So without further ado, everyone, it is time to start this week's session of the Dead Realms. As soon as I paste this playlist link here. Oh, I typed in the wrong command. Hold on. Oh, I have caps lock. That's why. Okay. Boom. Play.
Shoot.
Oh, I forgot to add the dot. There we go. There we go. Wow. All right. So, recapping what happened last week. Friar Frodo went down, but got back up some point during the fight. And then he went down again, and then he got back up during the fight. The cultist leader, now known as Zerath, teleported away, and his goons ran off. With you guys basically defeating whatever zombies remained and exiting, with Stitchskin on the hunt. Stitchskin was able to track down where one of the cultists ran off to and start to fly back home to home base. And a month's flying back to home base was able to find Carter, the guy who betrayed them during the first episode, and now is currently stalking them. Meanwhile, everyone else gathered up and basically ran to the nearest shelter, that being a former gambling den / church of Timora, where they try to gather supplies, try to catch a breather, and got the feeling that they were being stalked. After a somber moment outside by some gravestones, Equus noticed someone was watching them. Because of this, they investigated further into the building where they found a second floor where they see a pale elven woman which basically has black veins similar to the infection conditions that Mr. Ryan Peppers had suffered back when he got bitten at the cultist lair. And when confronting this woman, it turns out she wasn't the one doing the stalking. And at that point, the noise started to hear from above. Mr. Friar Fodel, you have been at the first floor just resting, taking your just resting because you've just, been exhausted and nearly died twice. And, the rest of your party went upstairs to investigate what the heck was going on upstairs, and they haven't come back in a while. What do you do, good sir, now that you hear, like, more commotion going up upstairs above you?
I go ahead and start up the stairs.
You go up the stairs, and you find out where this is coming from, and when you walk in, you see your party with this pale-looking half-elven woman with black veins covering basically almost her entire body inside what seems like to be a magical circle type of way, while holding glyphs in both of her hands, seemingly ready to cast a spell. And everyone else is just looking up, and you come into this, and everyone else notices you coming in, half exhausted from combat before, but not totally out of it.
Okay.
Fire, you're awake. How are you feeling?
Like a Clydesdale stepped on me.
I'm sure you wish to Clydesdale step down here.
What's going on here?
So we just met this fine woman. We came here for shelter after that fight. This woman was upstairs, but we come to understand there's someone else lurking about with their eyes on us, and we're not quite sure where they are.
The elven woman then says, pointing a glyph at you, Mr. Favreau, she says, "And he's with you?"
Yeah,
Yes.
he's cool.
He was blocking the entrance from zombies.
He was guarding us actually while we met you.
And Sklepion interrupts and says,
No, we all just knew his name.
She continues on saying, "Well, clearly there's something else more strange going on here than I suspect. For now, let's all figure out what this is exactly, and then we'll discuss it from there."
I'm fine with that. She seems pretty cool.
I don't trust her. She tried killing me.
But I feel like there's more powerful forces out there that we shouldn't be afraid of her. You know.
I'm more on
You
the
hear
side
more-
of if things are living and they're not attacking us, then they're probably trustworthy.
Yeah.
You guys hear like more and like the dust coming from above, and she says, the elven woman then says, "Seems like it come from the third floor."
We're going up.
By all means. And she kind of gestures you to what seems like to be, you guys now realize like what this room actually is. Taking a second look, this is basically a room that leads up to a room upstairs, basically. And she like gestures towards like the stairs, which at this point it's like haphazardly, constructed. Not in the way, it seems like it's like starting to crumble a bit, but it clearly leads to an upstairs area in which you cannot see because it is clearly, an open door, but it's very dark in there.
I mean, I could probably check and see if there's a window or something. I can fly out and see if there's something I can see inside.
I'm wondering, with dark vision, do I see anything?
Make a perception check.
Okay. $20, not natural.
Okay. So you see, because you have dark vision, and you see grayscale at a few distance, and there is some light coming in around this area, you do see this clearly leads into a room that is secluded off for a reason. What room it is, you aren't too sure because of your grayscale, but you do hear, while you're looking at that direction, going that kind of noise coming from above. It's faint, but with your keen ears, you pay closer attention and you see, like, are those silhouettes there, or is my eyes playing tricks on me? But you aren't too sure because again, dark vision's grayscale. So
Okay, so it sounds like there's zombies up there, but I can't really see much into the room, hard guys. Well, I say we proceed with caution.
I mean, you guys can.
Uh,
I can't
I want
see
to cast
that.
produce flame, just for
Okay.
the light of it.
Before, okay, so she, as you cast Produce Flame and having a ball of fire in your hands, the woman was like, "Wait, do not do anything. This whole building's made out of wood and stone. Just be careful."
Esclavion speaks up.
Equus, do we have to proceed in general?
The woman then says, "Well, do you want to sleep knowing that there's something else inside this place?"
Amen.
Who are you to speak to us in such a manner? This is a...
Sorry, I can't do that voice. It makes me
It's
laugh.
fine, man. It's cool.
This is a group conversation, and last I checked, we just met you.
Last time I checked, your Dragonborn friend tried to kill me.
Last I checked, I don't even care what's up there. I just want to figure out how to cure this damn wound.
Well, I think if we all agree not to attack each other, then we can all agree that the most immediate threat to us is the zombies upstairs.
Did it go?
She then, like, gestures to cast a spell, and you realize that it's just to dispel her magical circle. And she says, "You don't backstab me, then we're gonna be just fine."
I'll shake on that.
She shakes your hand. You can tell her hand, she's cold to the touch. It's weird.
Well,
All right.
I'm man of the cloth, so I don't really backstab.
That's what they all say.
Science, and you...
I give Ryan Peppers
I
a side
should
eye when he
trust
says
you.
that.
When he said that, almost everyone in the chat was scratching their beards.
I just noticed that. Alright, so what do you guys do?
I'm
Well,
staying behind unless there's a source of light.
Whatever,
Yeah,
whatever those things are, they got the high ground. So if you want to try to poke your head up in that little hole in that ceiling over there and possibly get bit, that's on you. If they come down,
you can take the high ground over them, right? You can fly.
I can, but if they're in a building and there's no entrance in, I can't see it, what it is.
Well, I'll get up there with the light, and maybe you'll see something later. But yeah, I'm walking up
Okay.
there. I think it's Fire City is too.
Okay. You guys see Equus walking upstairs cautiously, approaching the threshold. What do the rest of you do?
Does he still have produce flame in his hand?
Yeah, he's using it basically as like a lantern.
It lasts for 10 minutes if you don't attack with it. It's just light for 10 minutes.
Alright, I'll follow behind.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk to the elf, and I was like, how'd you get your infection?
She
And how
says,
are you still alive?
what's your persuasion modifier?
Persuasion modifier? Not persuasion. +3. I
Plus three?
am proficiency in it. I have proficiency in it. But can't talk.
She says, I've had this for about a full year at this point. She lifts up the side of her shirt, and you see what seems like to be a magical glyph around what seems like to be the flesh wound around her, and you can see like that spot in particular is like black into where that part of her side is like just black skin, but you see that a magical spell that is circulating around it that seems to be the main source of the infection. She says, "I've been trying to find a cure for this for quite some time. I've just been casting Death Ward on myself, just to prevent death, just to prevent this from taking over me. I was working for a group that promised me to help find a greater restoration spell, which is probably the only way of realistically to get rid of this. But
A greater
they led me
restoration
astray.
spell.
Yes, it seems like that seems to be the only way to cure this. unless you know how to exactly.
I know how to hold it off temporarily. I found that going to the church downstairs and putting the water after you make an offering to it, it like stays it for a day, but that's about all I got so far. I just acquired it, so it's brand new.
It's only temporary. I've seen a greater restoration spell work on someone who was bitten, and they were fine the next day.
Huh.
Seems like that's the only logical way of curing it.
Did we hear this conversation happening?
Yes, you all do. Well, unless Ryan Pepper wanted to say aside while this is going on.
I was just making conversation with her because
Sure.
I noticed that our infections are similar.
We'll
Except-
say everyone but Equus and Copper because they're approaching upstairs.
Copper wishing he heard this.
I'd probably be behind Equus.
All right.
Oh, you're going up, and that's tired.
All right. Seeing that like half the party goes up, she says, "Well, we gotta go up with them just in case, please." And then she gestures you to go for.
One quick question: what happens if you don't get the that death warding spell off on time?
Then, whenever I die, I become one of them.
Hmm.
That's why I keep casting it. It makes me live just slightly longer, but I don't have much time. And you see, like the veins around her face at this point start to like grow slightly faster, like at a slow pace.
You better cast it again. As we're walking up those stairs.
She casts Death Ward on herself. All right, as you guys are approaching upstairs, let's go to Stitchskin, who at this point has been stalking Carter and another individual that seems to be guiding along with him, and you've just been stalking him. You've been stealth at the point, just basically following them. What's your perception modifier?
+6.
So their conversation basically says, with Carter saying, "While I was trying to find the others, I came across this large stockpile of supplies. Seems like a former camp left it here. If we can take some of this to our group, we could probably last a couple more weeks." The other guy then says, seems to be younger than Carter, says, "Yeah, but what's going to be our overall plan? Are we going to live in the sewers? I quite frankly don't want to live in the sewers. I probably want to go outside the city, maybe." Carter then says, "Look, it'll last us a couple days. It's only a matter of time before the zombies come down here. That's why we need to convince the others to follow us. That
Can I
way,
roll?
that way we can make sure that all of us get out safely. We've been losing people left and right. I don't think the sewers are safe."
Yeah.
And they kind of just continue on with that type of conversation.
Can I roll insight on what he said about there being a stockpile? And I have a suspicion he's going to meet that guy to knock this out.
You want to see if he's lying to this dude?
Yeah.
Make an insight check.
23.
Ooh.
He's not lying.
Okay. I'm going to follow them and see if I can uncover anything untoward about who grabbed us and why.
Okay. As you remain in the shadows, basically flying occasionally and like staying slightly behind them because they are leading by lantern light. They eventually stop at the stockpile, which is basically a part of the sewers that would be like blocked off for whatever reason, but it's just loaded with supplies, like enough for at least a month. He says, "Look, see, I found this supply cache, and there's no group around it, so we should probably just take some and then just try to get the others later on to grab more. This should last us enough time to figure out a plan." I said, "Wow, Carter, that's some good word. How are you able to find us?" Well, he then continues, "Well, when I was with, what were their names again? I know two of them were like flying people, and one of them was a dragonborn. But I know that while they were missing, we ran off trying to find supplies because there was a horde coming through, and I couldn't find them. But while I was running away, I found this. She says, "Well," he says, "Well, it's a good thing you found this. I just wish the others were here to see it." He says, "Me too. Now come, let's grab some supplies and head back." And they are starting to gather supplies.
Is there anything? Are they gonna come back my direction when they return? Is there a branching path?
Most likely, yeah.
Then I'm gonna set a trap.
What trap would you like to set out?
I want to use anything I can. I will even rip up my bedroll to make some sort of net that I can use to basically restrain the other guy while I kill this fucking guy.
Okay.
Is there anything around me you think I could use?
Not necessarily. You just are basically have what you have on you. So what is it that? So like, so convince me how you want to create a net using the gear you have.
What I want to do is create a tripwire, and I want to slick the part where where the one dude is gonna walk over, nice and slick, with just slime and anything I can get. And basically, I'm gonna trip them and hopefully knock him into the water, and get myself enough time and surprise to just pelt this dude with arrows till he's dead.
Okay. So I would say this would cost you some rope. We'll say 5 feet.
I have a bedroll. I was thinking of just shredding it with my talons and tying it together.
Sure, you could get rid of your bedroll, and that will create the quote-unquote net. And you could definitely get. Do you have pittons in your pack too, or no? Or do you have like daggers or something like that?
I have short swords and arrows.
Yeah, short swords. So you could probably get away with using 2 arrows to act as like hold for the rope for the trip. So
Okay.
you would have to take out 2 arrows. We'll say, because this is about 10 feet wide. We'll say like about 10 feet of rope for the trip, and then a cost of your bedroll. But I want you to go ahead and make a stealth check to see if you remain quiet while constructing all this, while weird music is playing at the wrong correct time.
So I want to be about 120 feet back, the other direction, and I rolled a 12 on stealth.
Okay, let me see if they hear it. See if it echoes. Hey, you hear that? Not too sure. Maybe one of us should go and check. How about you go on ahead and check? I'll finish wrapping up here. Here, take this lantern. I got a torch in my pack. All right. You at this point, while amidst finishing creating your net, which you just have makeshift net, you then see the guy holding the lantern approaching your direction. As kind of the loud crafting noises are echoing throughout the sewers.
I am going to. I could sneak around him. I think what I'm going to do is with an arrow, I'm going to try and shoot his lamp out of his hands. This is the veteran guy?
This is not the... This is the This is like the younger of the two. This is not Carter.
Trick shots only. Let's see it.
Let's see
So, go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage, because you're technically heavily obscured at this point.
15 to hit.
That will just hit his armor class.
Awesome. I'm gonna do non-lethal damage, but I am gonna take my second shot using Dread Ambusher.
Okay, so you shoot the first shot. Ah! What was that? Carter? Carter, are you all right? Carter's like, Carter. You just hear Carter then say, "Shit." Finishes packing up and says, "Kid, you better come with me. Come this way." And he starts running to the opposite direction with his torch. And then you're gonna shoot your second shot. Do you want to continue your second shot at this young kid?
No, I'm gonna shoot Carter now that they don't have any light.
Okay. Attack roll.
It's with advantage, 22 to hit.
That hits Carter. Roll damage.
So it's 2d8 plus 4. So the 1d8 plus 4 first, 7, And then with the extra D8 for Gloomstalker, roll. 1 more damage, so 8 damage.
Nice. You just hear "ah" from Carter, and we'll come back to you in a second. Let's go back with the others. So you guys are creeping up with Equus leading the way, holding what seems like to be fire in his hands. As you guys go up the stairs, you start to notice what this room exactly is, and basically get the idea of whether this is actually a temple or a gambling den. You can confirm that this is a gambling den because this entire area seems to be like betting area, quote unquote, but there's like royal carpets on the ground. There's like, what used to be like nice beds that would kind of like scatter about. It's kind of actually more torn down, and there's like more colorful in comparison to all the other areas. Mr. Friar Frodell, as a cleric, you recognize this as, a moral sin nonetheless. And so do you, Mr. Ryan Peppers, as you guys figured out that this is basically a room in which prostitution is engaged with as you go up the stairs. And you two recognize it because these are technically sins. Everyone else, this is just a weird, interesting room.
What the cluckers are these people doing?
Bro, the real sin is cutting down a whole ass forest to build all these fucking buildings. What?
This
Cover
is
your eyes,
immoral
lads.
and
Cover your eyes.
this is immoral and unethical.
Bro, how do you feel tainted now that you've taken holy water from this place?
No, because that's still a sanctuary, a church, an altar for a deity.
Oh, so it's
As
just
you-
upstairs.
As you guys approach closer into the room, you do see what seems like to be a humanoid figure all the way at the end, kind of obscured. How bright is your produce flame on your hands? Like, how bright does it extend?
It describes it as flickering, so probably not super bright.
So
You guys see clearly
Yeah,
a silhouette of a above average height humanoid looking figure, a little slim than your usual one, and you just go and then you hear more shifting going on the walls around you, as this is basically 10 feet wide as you guys are approaching, and as you're
Resident Crazy Man.
you then this figure starts to approach you guys a little more clearly. You can see what this creature actually looks like, as his skin color is more blue, but his clothing seems to be one in which, well, whatever the equivalent of a medieval pimp is, like that, but more weird and obscure. Basically similar to this. Very skinny with a long, sickly tongue and long fingernails. And this creature even speaks, going, "Oh, seems we got company. It's been a while since I've had." And he takes this long tongue and just licks his entire lips. Like, "Actual flesh, my children." It is at this point that hands start coming out of the walls and start to scratch all around you. 4 hands all around. And then we just roll to see which 4 of you gets attacked. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll roll this d6. So I already rolled that.
I'm not up there.
Oh yeah, that is true. We'll say you're at the bottom of the stairs just chilling. So Mr. Ryan Peppers, Equus, Friar Frodell, and the woman will all get attacked by blue sickly hands. Now I roll for attack with advantage because this is technically surprise. Because I'm just gonna do surprise right now. That's the wrong page.
How's it a surprise if we're all expecting something to attack us up there?
You
But
didn't
you didn't
expect.
see it.
You
Oh,
didn't see
okay.
it. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yep.
I was just
You did
confused. I
not-
was like, huh?
You see like this weird creature coming out, and all of a sudden you see this blue hands coming out from the walls.
Would
So I'm just
you
gonna
be
roll
surprised? I would be surprised.
You'll be like, holy shit. That's a critical hit on all four of you. So let me just tell you the overall damage as as D&D Beyond begins to crash. Okay. Come on, load, please. Okay, so let me roll 2d4 for the claw attack because this is a critical hit. Not too much. You each take 13 points of slashing damage, and then I need you guys to make a. Let me just read this real quick. So I need all three of you guys, Friar Frodell, Equus, and Mr. Ryan Peppers, to make con saves.
TPK.
A total. I'm not there.
Okay. And then I just need Mr. Equus.
Natural one. Total.
22.
Okay,
Natural 20.
Equus and Mr. Ryan Peppers, as these claws
I haven't even rolled
like
yet.
peer out of the. Say again.
I haven't even rolled yet.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
I was looking for my con save.
Con save. Okay.
Is that the strength save thing?
It's Constitution.
Oh, never mind.
It
I
should
see
be
it.
under saving throws. Yeah.
Oh, not good.
Yeah. So Mr. Ryan Peppers and Mr. Equus, both of you are paralyzed as these things scratch at you. It inflicts critical damage to you. Both of you get a level of exhaustion, which means you have a -2 to all d20 rolls until
You
you
said it was
finish a long rest.
13 damage though, right?
13 damage. It's not much. It could have been worse. And then you realize what appears out of the walls. It's similar looking creatures, but they're look more like women. And let me just post a picture for you, the players here. They look an equivalent to this, but wearing what used to be scandalous clothing with wicked long hair, and they also have wicked long tongues. And then this long, obscure male creature goes, "It's dinner time, my darlings." And at this point, I want everyone, including Stitchkin, to roll initiative.
This lady has been living under these guys for.
Now, hold up. Before you guys do anything, we're going to try something new. We're going to do the run the encounter thing. So it should be here. Yep. So go ahead and roll your d20s. And I'll already have my stuff recorded. So
Wait, what am I doing?
roll your initiative because I'm going to do run the encounter on D&D Beyond to try it out.
I'm not sure if you wanted me to, but just in case, I rolled a 22, not a nat.
Yep, I see it here. You said you rolled a 22?
22.
Freaking working. I clicked the initiative and it doesn't roll. Whatever.
That's weird.
You rolled
Oh, wait,
a
I
4.
gotta roll twice. Never mind. Sorry.
15 minus 1. So 14.
I got 11.
11. And Stitchkin, what'd you roll?
16.
16? Okay. Alright. So, start. Boom. Okay. Mr. Scorpion Boats, you hear a bunch of commotion going from upstairs. We'll say you're about 30 feet from upstairs. What do you do?
Alright.
As
Esclepion
I change music.
kind of groans and then yells up to them.
I told you you shouldn't have proceeded.
And, he sighs and then runs up to figure out what's going on here.
You see these wicked creatures, too.
Oh. That's nice. I'm at the back, aren't I?
You're, like, at the entry doorway. These guys are a little halfway in the room.
Esclepion shouts towards the person who he believes most knowledgeable and says,
Topper, can you tell me what's going on?
The elven woman's like, "Trap, I don't even know what these things are."
Disgusting is what they are.
Can I give a
Foul.
religious check to see if I know what they are?
We'll do that on your turn, good sir. But what else are you doing, Mr. Asclepion?
I'm honestly, I don't know what to do here. Esclepion is looking at all his friends, and they're like paralyzed and seem half dead and crap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know.
What you doing, man?
I'm gonna grab my crossbow and just load an arrow. I'm gonna hold an action, I guess, an attack action.
Okay. Copper, you're up. You see all these hands attack your friends, and you see Equus and Mr. Ryan Peppers just totally paralyzed and like they're stuck in place. And you see these creatures at this point; they are all around you. What would you like to do?
Wait, they're all around me. So if
They're all around the party. Excuse me, is what I meant
So
to say.
if I try to move towards Sklepion, I take opportunity
An
attack.
attack of opportunity attack, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna disengage from my action.
Okay.
I'm gonna run towards the Sklepion. And I say, "You need to burn this entire fucking floor. This entire place." Is
Yes!
and then I run downstairs.
All right, you run downstairs. All right. Well, that's going on. Stitchkin, we have go towards you, and you shot 2 arrows, one at the lantern, one at Carter. Do you have dark vision, good sir?
Yes.
All right, you
I-
can clearly see them. You see Carter going with looking at the arrow of where he thinks he's placed it, but you clearly know that these guys can't see shit. What do you do?
I'm gonna keep firing, and I'm gonna take out his ankles.
Okay.
I'm also
I'm
gonna.
assuming Carter, right?
Yeah, not the kid.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna bonus action Hunters mark him, and then I'm gonna start my first initiative volley. Straight ambusher.
Alright.
I'm also gonna use my sharpshooter feat, and since I'm rolling with advantage, I'm gonna take the -5 and see if I can get extra damage into this hit.
Okay.
17 -5, 12 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
Yeah. So he takes 20 points of damage
Ooh. Okay.
to the ankle, Achilles heel
Ah!
style.
Ah!
The arrow
You
is
see-
like through the stone and through his foot.
Yeah. You see that like his ankle hit the arrows are basically grounded to the floor. It goes god damn it, kid, run, just get out of here, just run. And then you just hear him say this to the kid. Anything else you would like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my second shot and try to do non-lethal damage and pin his other heel to the ground. And I'm not gonna take
Okay.
the -5.
Okay,
21 to hit.
that hits.
2d8 plus 4. $18 points of damage.
All right, you deal enough damage. Not only it looks like he's having a rough time there because his ankles are freaking stuck to the ground. Movement-wise, anything you would like to do or no?
He's just gonna like very slowly walk out of the darkness. Just being a tall, creepy motherfucker that he is, his red glinted eyes just watching him like he's his prey.
Okay. Go ahead and make it just. What's your stealth
hold on.
modifier?
I'm sorry. Someone reminded me. Thank you. Of Hunter's mark damage. So there's 2d6 involved there.
Yep.
So an extra 9 points of damage.
Okay.
I don't know if
He's
that
still
really
up.
makes a difference for this guy, but he's about to find out. So yeah, that's my turn.
All right. And what's your stealth modifier?
+6.
+6. Okay. So you see this kid, scared for his life, pull out his longsword and just starts running towards the direction of where he heard Carter. Actively like dodging because like he can't see shit. And Carter is gonna try spending a turn try to get those arrows out of his ankles. I'm just gonna roll. This is gonna take his action, but I'm gonna roll. Yeah. So he takes one of the arrows out. He goes, kid, are you around? And he will use his item interaction to light his torch. And he only has visibility of where he sees himself, his surrounding areas, and the kid approaching, actively scared. He says, "Kid, we're being ambushed. Come, let's just get out of here." And the kid's basically gonna go up to him, but the kid can't do anything else. And you see that Carter is in a weakened state at this point, as you're slowly creeping up on him. Then we go to the next initiative. Mr. Equus, you are paralyzed. At the end of the turn, I need you to make a con save to see if you're no longer paralyzed or not.
It's a 9.
It does not beat it. So you're still paralyzed, like I can't move, and while holding a singular ball of flame in your hand. It's just shaking at this point. Next, we go to Mr. Friar Frodell. You say you would like to make a check to see what these things are, right?
Oh, I think I changed my mind.
Okay.
I want to cast Word of Radiance for my action.
Nice.
My bonus action, grab one of them and throw them down the steps. One of the paralyzed.
Okay. Okay. Which one of the two would you like to grab? The Ryan
Well-
Peppers, your cleric, or Equus, the one holding the flame?
Cleric odd, Druid even.
Oh, he's gonna roll for it. Okay. That's fair enough.
Gentlemen.
6 for Druid.
Alright. Okay.
So I cast
Alright,
Word of Radiance.
What is your word of radiance?
You utter divine word, and burning radiance erupts from you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within range must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 fire damage.
Alright. What is the one word you say to these creatures that creates this radiance?
Burn.
With a natural 1, they will do so. So go ahead and roll radiance damage.
3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. You
Yeah,
just hear coming from the female-looking creatures around. You just hear this tall guy going, and you just toss the druid down the stairs. Now, there's no save here because you're paralyzed. Mr. Mr. Peppers, not Mr. Peppers. My apologies, Mr. Equus. Just go ahead and roll a D100 for me.
Oh God.
With pleasure. All right. 36.
Okay. You haphazardly drop your flame by mistake as you are getting tossed out of this room, and it's starting a fire. It's not big enough to where it's gonna burn this entire building, but a fire is starting behind you guys as you are falling down the stairs, which you will be taking some damage, good sir, too.
I can
You'll be
drink
taking-
water when I'm not paralyzed, but
That is true.
how much do I
You,
take?
as you are haphazardly falling down the stairs, you take 13 points of falling damage as it is 30 feet down the stairs,
down.
and you just
I have 50.
Copper. As you make it down the stairs, you just see Equus just falling down the stairs, and he gets to the bottom, and he is not moving. He is down. But that is gonna be Mr. Frankfurt. No, would you like to do anything movement-wise or anything like that?
No, because I gotta get the other one out too.
All right. All right. This ghast will now attack now.
Oh wait,
He goes,
wait,
"Ah."
wait, I can do.
Oh, you want to do something else?
Because I'm also a fighter.
Would you like to action surge?
Action surge and grab the other one and do the same thing.
Fair enough. All right. You'll be
I guess
taking
I'm
some
going.
damage too, Mr. Ryan Peppers. You take 9 points of falling damage as you stumble fall. So, Copper, shortly after Equus, you just see just chicken feathers just about, and you see these two paralyzed
help
dudes
me.
just like.
You just help me.
I start doing the math in my head.
Help me by throwing me.
Oh,
down by
I
My
mean, wait,
fucking-
do you want to die by your teammate trying to get you to safety, or do you want to die by your teammate watching the enemy kill you?
I think it's hilarious. This is great.
This ghast
And
will
I
start
still
to,
have movement, right?
if you wish, but there's ghouls all around you at this point.
I tell the girl to run, and then I book it down the steps.
Before you do, attack of opportunity
boy.
from one of them.
Alright.
All right. Does a 15 hit you, sir? Excuse me,
Nope,
I read
have
that
an
wrong.
armor class 17.
All right, hold on, I read that wrong. I read the bite. My apologies. Also, I was at gas stat block. Does a 16 hit you? I'm assuming not.
17.
All right. One of these ghouls going, "Stop!" and tries to swipe at you, but you just like, oh shit, and just dodged out of the way as you are slowly going down the stairs. The gas then points at the Iridazi, says, "Get them! We will not burn today." And the 3 ghouls will start to head down, and 3 ghouls will attack you from behind, Friar, with each of them with 3 claw attacks. But unfortunately, 14 from all of them will not slash at you, as your armor seems to protect you from harm. The other 3 remaining, this woman, I think it's the woman, and yeah, I think the woman is the only one up there, and Mr. Sklepping at the start. Oh yeah, I forgot, Mr. Sklepping, you're at the start. We'll say that these creatures are habitually going around you, crawling on the walls, sort of basically going about you. Would you like to do your attack at this point that you've been holding on any of them, or no?
Do that. So
Yep. So
I'm going to quickly turn around and just fire at the nearest one.
okay, make an attack roll.
Oh, my sheets. Alright. I've been inspecting fire photos. I have a plan in mind. Alright. 20. Not an app.
20. That will hit him. Roll damage.
Okay. 8 damage total.
Nice. One of the ghouls gets shot, goes and falls down 10 feet. They'll take additional fall damage. They'll take maximum 10 fall damage. This one seems to be down on their legs. The other 3 ghouls will try to attack the woman with a 16, but the woman's gonna cast shield to make them all miss. And then the ghoul's like, yeah. And then you guys downstairs just hear a bunch of more ruffling, and you hear movement coming from the walls. So that will be the bad guys' turn. And then for the woman, will gladly get the fuck out of there. And she kind of she says, "You better run. This thing's gonna burn at any given second." She says to you, Asclepion, and she will go downstairs and she'll see the 3 ghouls behind Friar, and will cast Magic Missile on 3 of them. So I'll just roll this 1d4. Okay. She kills one of them, the one that Asclepion shot, and deals damage to the others. As I am doing quick math. Alright. The woman will kind of basically be in between and kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place, as the building is slowly burning. Next on initiative, Mr. Ryan Peppers. It is time for you to make a death saving throw. So again, death saving throws. You need a 15 or more to succeed. Natural one's an instant death.
It's just
a
20?
straight D20 roll. So you would have to click the D20 icon. I think Equus, did you go down?
I would like to use my blessing as well.
Yeah. Okay, so
it's
so
an
go ahead and
advantage.
gotcha. So because you offered your thing to, the deity, your next check does have advantage. So go ahead and just make your destiny roll with advantage. You do need a 15 or more to pass, though.
Definitely not that. Oh my
So
gosh.
D20.
Well,
Okay.
at least it
At
wasn't
least
the
you're not
nat one.
instantly. At least, yeah, because that one is an instant death, so you just have one failed death save. All right. And Equus, just go ahead and just make sure you minus your health point pool because it's still showing on my end for whatever reason, unless everyone else sees otherwise. So.
No, that's on me. I forgot to update it. I fixed it.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Scorpion Bolts, you turn around and the ghast is gone. It's weird. It's like he was there, and then you turn around, and then he's vanished. And then you still see one of the ghouls like slowly start to approach you, and you see the others like just down on the floor in between this woman and Friar. What would you like to do?
Alright, so Sklepion looks back at the ghoul that's approaching him. My life.
Oh, by the way, the flame is lit up half of this room at this point.
Okay. So he's watching the ghoul approach him, and then he says,
I would have loved to experiment further, but I simply haven't any time.
and he rummages around in his coat and pulls out a flask of oil. And then he says,
Goodbye.
and he just tosses it at the approaching him.
Ooh, and it'll already catch flame. You're making it worse.
There,
We told him
the
you're gonna burn
oil
the building down.
slicks. The oil slicks on him, and as it does, the whatever remains of the oil hits the flames, and this ghoul is lit ablaze. This ghoul takes 5 fire damage, and it goes, and it's just screeching in pain and in agony. Anything else you'd like to do, sir?
Next action is run. I'm not staying
Alright.
here anymore. I did my
One
job.
of us out.
You could. You bump into this woman. You're like, hey, watch it. As you walk past her, and then you see 2 other ghouls remaining behind Friar. What would you like to do? Anything bonus action wise, or is that it?
That's my full action. The whole flask of oil and all that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's it.
All right. Copper, you're up. You're at the bottom of the stairs. You see Equus and Mr. Ryan Peppers down and out. And you see Friar coming down, but there's 2 ghouls behind him, and then there's a scorpion and the woman, and you just see a bunch of flames in the background. What would you like to do?
Yeah. That sounds like a lot. Let's see. It's an action to give a healing potion, correct?
Yes.
All right. I know. You said both Equus and Ryan Peppers are down.
Yep.
Would Copper know about the effects of being infected by the zombie stuff?
Based on your background story, you know, like, the general idea of infection. You see, because, like, you see this woman who is fully infected. You know, it's obviously gotten worse, but she has ways of dealing with it. And you know that Ryan Peppers put some holy water on it, so that's kind of strained the effect of what the infection naturally does. So, at the moment...
Knowing that being unconscious is not good for Ryan Peppers, I'm going to give my potion of healing to him.
Okay.
Do I roll the healing, or does he do it?
I'll let either of you decide, so.
You can roll it.
What is it? Let's see. 2d4 plus 2. All right.
Yep.
Ryan Peppers gets back up for 7 points.
You get back for 7 health points. You felt at one point the infection, like, corrupting you, but all of a sudden you're back up, Mr. Ryan Peppers. Now with another level of exhaustion coming from near death. You now have 2 levels of exhaustion, one from the crit, one from you getting back up. And you're like, you're just as, it seems like you're just as exhausted as Friar.
And then I'm going to... Could I drag Equus 20 feet with me, or is that an action to grab him?
I'll allow a bonus action to grab him, and then you can just drag Equus 20 feet.
Have my movement with
I'll allow that.
Feet, so yeah,
Yep.
I'll drag him 20 feet towards... Is there a window here, or is it just doors?
There is a window behind you that goes down 1 floor.
I will drag him towards the window.
Okay. Oh no. Alright. So that'll be it for Copper this turn. Let's go back to the sewers. Stitchskin, you are basically stalking them as if you were Batman, and you just see them approaching. You just see Carter holding the torch as they're acting surrounding vision, along with the young kid preparing to basically like carry him. What would you like to do?
The kid's trying to carry him out.
It looks like he's gonna start doing that. So yeah.
How close to death does he look?
Carter, he's hurt pretty bad.
I'm gonna hurt him more.
Okay.
Stitchskin has a sad, sinking feeling that he's missing out on something, but he doesn't know enough because he's a fucking bird and he's just gonna keep shooting.
Right,
I'm also I'm just gonna aim for his body. Oh, nat 20.
Yeah. How do you kill him?
I want to run it through. Basically, I wanted to make bring him. I want to do non-lethal damage, bring him as close to death, so it looks like he's dead. But I want to like just wake him up when this kid runs away, like ah.
Sure. So you shoot
like, just to the right of his heart or something crazy like that.
Sure. You shoot an arrow in the back. He goes, oh! And he drops the torch, and he collapses to the ground, looking like that he's dead. The kid will just like, oh shit. He'll grab the torch and he'll fucking bolt it.
Cool. I'm gonna run up quickly as soon as this kid's gone, and I'm gonna search this fucking guy for anything he's got.
Make an investigation check. As you, with your feathers.
Can I just use my passive perception? My investigation's garbage.
What's your passive perception?
16.
16. You see on his person, seems like a note sticking out from his pocket.
Grabs it with his beak and pulls
You
it
do
out
so.
and opens it.
What's your intelligence?
7.
You just see lines, and then you see this one red line that leads, basically similar to the spot with the big X that says stockpile here.
Ooh, I'm gonna take that, put it in my pouch, and then I'm gonna take him of his like gold and wealth or rations or whatever equipment he has.
This I would have to ask you for an investigation check, but
That's
on your
totally
next
fine.
turn. So.
Okay.
All right. So, Equus, make a death saving throw.
Oh, sorry, you talking to me?
Yep. Make a death saving throw, my friend. Again, 15 more to succeed. That's a success. All right. Mr. Fryer, there's two ghouls behind you. And you see the woman, and you see Asclepian at the top of the stairway, and you see Copper's trying to like get the others back up. What would you like to do?
I can do a first level spell and a cantrip, right? Action,
if one of them is so if one of them is an action or bonus action, you could definitely do that.
I will do the radiance thing, word of radiance again.
All right.
After 2.
What is your word this time? Alright, so con save.
Radiance, I guess.
Alright. They will fail with an 11.
Alright. Here's the damage for that.
Okay.
5 points. And then my bonus action healing word on the druid.
Okay. So go ahead and roll healing for healing word.
4 points back.
Alright. What is your healing word to your fellow friend Equus?
Get up.
You hear the words get up. You hear the words get up, Equus. All of a sudden, oh, what's going on? And then you see Copper just dragging you to a nearby window.
Thank you.
We gotta get out of here.
Alright, anything else, Friar?
I'll try to back up.
Alright, you try to go down the stairs. There's an attack of opportunity from both of these schools.
Alright.
They crit you.
They do?
So, yep, they do crit you. They will each, so you get 2 levels of exhaustion. So now you have 4 levels of exhaustion, which you should have. And this we rarely get to 4th level exhaustion here, folks. So I'm gonna just open this up real quick.
I already did it.
Fifth death.
So he should be at
So
4th
tired.
level exhaustion at this point.
I did.
He's not dead yet. He succeeded on the paralyzing thing, so that's the plus. Oh wait, he did. That was a critical hit though. So you should be at level 5, which at this point your speed should be 5, and you have a -5 to all d20 rolls, and you also are vulnerable to all damage, which means you take double damage after this. Well, like you don't take double of this critical hit, but any future damage will be doubled because you are low on health. They'll each claw at you, so you take a grand total of. Roll this d4 here. You take a grand total of 30 points of damage, which I think downs you.
That downs me again.
PPK.
You go down, Friar Frodo, halfway down the stairs. Next, it is the Ghast's turn. Copper, as you try to see the situation, you see Friar go down as he's trying to make it down the stairs. He's close to the bottom, but he just gets claw attacked and just goes down. You then hear, and you turn around, and all of a sudden, this gas is right behind you, crashing through the walls, and he's going to make an attack against you with advantage because he was hidden. He didn't roll well though. I'm assuming a 10 does not hit.
No.
Okay. So he's like, yeah. He's like, you're not gonna get away that easily. And then the ghouls, he says, feed my children, feed. Children will turn around and will start running up against the woman. They roll a dirty 20, but she'll cast shield again and will just hit her armor class. She will take half damage from these attacks. She goes, ah, ah, and you tell like she's taken like quite a beating, but she seems to be going down a lot faster in comparison to everyone else. And then the one in front of you takes 5 damage, Asclepion, and it will then slash at you.
All right.
Does an 11 hit?
Nope.
11 does not hit. Okay. You see the fire on the claws just dodging, and you're like, oh shit. Next, it is Mr. Ryan Peppers. You see Friar go down. What would you like to do?
How many people on my party are hurt right now?
Everyone, except Copper
Yeah.
and Asclepion.
How many are hurt bad besides me and Friar and the druid?
You just you.
Um,
I have not been touched.
Okay, well, in that case, also one other question. Since we were away, did any of our spell slots recover?
No, you guys have not done a proper rest yet.
Okay. So I'm gonna use my last 2nd level, and use Prayer of Healing. It hits 6
Prayer of
creatures in
Healing
my-
is an action that... Okay, so Prayer of Healing takes 10 minutes to cast. Each round is 6 seconds. So that will not work in
instantaneous.
time. It says a 10-minute casting time. No? Unless I'm reading it wrong.
Duration instantaneous.
Let's see here real quick.
Well, duration and casting time are different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, scratch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Nothing's next to me, is it? None of the ghouls? I'm all the way
No.
down the stairs.
None of them. You're at the bottom of the stairways, laying down. You see Copper and, like, you see Equus down next to you, seeming to get up. You see this gas hovering over Copper. What would you like to do?
And Copper's at the where's Copper?
Copper is nearby you, engaging in combat with this ghast.
Alright, well then I will have to try this then. I am going to... I'm gonna have to do it on myself because I'm too weak right now. Cast Cure of Wounds on myself.
Okay.
And that's an action, and then I can move, right? Or should I move and then
Yep.
cast?
You got to get up, which takes half your movement, and then you have about the other half of your movement.
So getting up takes like what, 15? No.
Half your
About
movement.
10,
So your
about
movement speed
10.
is 30.
Yeah, 15, and then I go straight into booking it out.
Okay.
Afterward.
All right.
Well, at least away from the enemies, so I can start casting some spells for healing. To save
Sure.
the team.
Sure.
And that is
Alright.
what I'm going to do.
Okay. Top of the round, the entire upper floor is on fire, and the buildings start to shake. So let me roll to see who gets to determine what happens to this building in a second.
I'm gonna have
See,
to heal
1,
myself
2,
first.
3, 4, 5. Copper, go ahead and roll a D100 for me, please.
Why doesn't it ever tell me what it is?
83.
Whatever.
83? Oh boy.
1, 2, 3.
The building starts to collapse on itself. You guys have... I'm gonna just roll this D4 here.
+2.
You guys have until the end of the round to try to figure out a way out before this building collapses. But Mr. Sklepping, you see that the building around you is starting to collapse. What would you like to do?
So Asclepion looks in front of him and sees the burning ghoul. He looks behind him,
Yep.
sees the other two ghouls. And the only thing you can do is shout for help. He's like, I'm not built for combat, help! After doing that, he panics and just grabs whatever vial he has, which happens to be a vial of acid, and he just throws it at the burning zombie in front of him. I'm casting Acid Splash.
Okay. What type of save is it?
For Dex 14.
Dex 14. A 12 will not succeed. How much damage do you do?
Alright, let me know the damage. Sorry, I'm trying to assess what's going on.
Is there a window in the room?
There is.
I do 4 damage.
You do 4 damage. You see this ghoul going. "Ah!" It's weird. It's like a horror fest. This blue ghoul woman is like burning, and now she has acid covering over her. She's looking like more of a ghoul as you do more damage to her. Anything else you would like to do?
Asclepion, he's kind of just slowly backing away. Not close enough to, hold on.
If you back, that's an opportunity attack.
What'd you say?
If you back up, it's going to be an opportunity attack from one of the ghoul.
Damn it. I'm
What you doing, bruh?
I'm just gonna stay where I am.
Okay.
What?
Copper, there's a ghast in front of you. The building's starting to collapse. You see Friar Frodo down. What would you like to do?
Can I take my spear through the ghast out the window? I want to run him through the window.
Okay,
Crush
so
out the window
first...
with him.
You wanted to penetrate?
Oh, shit! Okay. Alright. This would... Okay, so go ahead and make an attack roll against the ghast.
That's a 9. Dang it.
It's not enough. He, slides out of it, like, nice try, Dragonborn. And he licks his tongue.
Alright, I'm gonna do Step of the Wind to dash out the window.
All right, you dash out the window. Attack of opportunity against the ghast from the ghast with his claw attack. That's a 19 to hit, friend. So you will take 10 points of slashing damage, and I need you to make a con save.
13?
Okay, you're not paralyzed. You hit the slash. You get slashed. You're like, ah! And you start to crash through the window. Go ahead and... You don't have slow fall yet, I don't think.
I do have slow fall.
All right, so you're like, ah! And you're slowly falling as like you're trying to grab your wound 10 feet. Go ahead and just make a dex check for me.
Check or save?
Check. I'm safe. My apologies.
I'll use the 8 for 14.
Okay. So you will take no damage from this fall. You're like, ah! But you manage to recompose and you land to the ground. You look up and you see like the top part of this building start to set on fire. And then in the distance you hear as the light is starting to attract some undead outside.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. You're in trouble and you're paralyzed, bro. Oh.
Anything else you would like to do, Mr. Copper?
Can I do anything?
Well, you still have some movement left, I would say. We'll say doing all that would probably take you about 10 feet. So you still have a full 30. You see the building on fire,
Wait,
you know your friends are in there.
30? If I use Step of the Wind, it was a dash action, so...
Oh, my apologies.
I still have 70 feet left.
Yeah, so, yeah, you would still have a bunch of movement. So, what would you like to do? You know your friends are in there with the burning building that is starting to collapse. You know that zombies are ever so slowly coming. What would you like to do?
Let's see, they would likely not jump out the window like I would, because they couldn't take this fall damage.
If you
Are
catch
there
them, they can.
not the ones that matter. The entrance. How far am I from that? Sorry. Entrance
That would
is-
take you about 30 feet, we'll say.
Okay. I will take 35 to get 5 feet away from that entrance, and I guess I'm going to make sure that any zombies coming by after I'm done being paralyzed are, do what Pryor was doing when he was watching guard.
Okay, so we go back to the sewers. Stitchskin, you have a downed Carter. What would you like to do? You just find a note that has lines on it that leads to what seems like to be a checkpoint of sorts.
13
What would you like to do?
investigation to steal his
On him?
shit.
You snatch through his stuff. You do find the longsword and a dagger. These seem to just be ordinary longsword and daggers. You do find 10 gold pieces on him, but that's it.
Okay, I'm gonna throw the sword and the dagger with all the other stockpile, and I'm gonna use my movement and dash to fly as fast as I can through the sewer, up the nearest grate, and I'll take to the skies.
As you take to the skies, you look around try to like, get your surroundings. Way further down in the south, you see something burning up.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
You see,
a
like, a
wild
building in
guess and
distance.
assume that that's my buddies, and I'm gonna start heading that way.
All right, so we'll say it'll probably take you a full round to just get about there. You see basically a burning church or a burning building, and you see undead slowly start to approach as the light seems to attract it, and you see your buddy Copper down there. So we'll say that'll just take your full round just to get there. But yeah, you do see your buddy Copper there, but not the rest of your party.
Okay, I guess that's all I can do.
Equus, death savings. Oh, yeah, unless you're up, because of healing word, I think, right?
Yeah, no, he's up.
Yeah, healing word
you
brought
should.
me up.
We gotta get Bob.
So you're like, so you're up and about, and you see, you see Friar Portal down towards the bottom, not where you are exactly. You saw, Mr. Peppers like picking up a bit, try to catch a breather. You see this gas looming over you with this long, wicked
I
tongue.
also started
and
moving
you see,
away from all the enemies.
sure,
I exited, so.
sure, and you see this gas like turn to you with this long tongue just licking at his chops.
How close are all my allies to each other?
So, Friar Portal is a little bit up there he's not exactly at the bottom, but he's close to the bottom of the stairs. You see a scorpion at the top of the stairs, and then you see the woman in the middle of the stairs engaging with some ghouls. And you don't know where Copper is because you saw. Well, you do know he jumped out of the fucking window, and Peppers is like back
Okay,
in a way.
so can I tell you what I want to do, and can you tell me like if I can do
Sure.
it? Awesome.
Sure,
So,
man, go for it.
As a bonus action, I can use my spirit totem to create a unicorn spirit, and what that does is when I cast a healing spell on anyone, all creatures of my choice in the area heal 4 HP. So
Okay.
what I would like to do is, as a bonus action, cast the unicorn spirit in an area that includes Friar Fodell and as many people as possible. And then for my action, I'd like to cast a level 2 healing word on Friar Fodell, which then will trigger the totem and heal everyone in the area. And then run the fuck out of there with my movement.
Okay, so you want to cast your totem and then do a healing spell, get everyone healed up, get up and get out, right?
Yep.
Okay. I will say your unicorn thing will definitely go off. You will roll for healing, and then you would have to spend half your feet to get up, and you wish to run out.
Yeah.
Well, he can't take an opportunity from the gas because he already did an opportunity attack. So yeah, you could definitely do all that stuff. But describe to me what it looks like.
All right. So
Oh,
I'm getting up. It's hazy. There's all gas in the air. Clearly, some shit's on fire. I realize I'm not holding my fire, so I start to feel some immediate guilt of like, oh shit, did I cause this? But I remember Fryer telling me to get up. Like that. That's why I'm up here. So I know that he must have helped me. And I look around and I see him on the ground. And holy shit, I'm not leaving here without him. But we need to get the fuck out of here. So my immediate thoughts are like, how can I heal everyone? Because we're all fucked. And I remember the unicorn and its spirit of purity and healing, and I call it forth. And I ask it to help me bring my friend back up as he's down. And as I cast healing word, and my healing word is get up. And
You do this, and your unicorn looks like your former mount, as if its own spiritual essence is helping you in your dire situation. And as it neighs, I'll say, it says "get up" to everyone around and heals everyone for that amount.
hell yeah! So
And
Was
as
it
you start to
7?
get up,
yeah,
as you start to get up and run, it seems like this unicorn that looks similar to your former mount starts to follow you, and you instinctively try to do like a motion where you try to get on the horse, only to realize like, oh shit, wait, this is like a spiritual projection. But you, with knowing that your spirit animal is in good spirits, helping you in this aid as you exit out the area.
For a moment there, it felt like he was right back with me. That's so sweet.
Exactly. Friar Frodell, you have 5 levels of exhaustion. Let me tell you what your current conditions are as you're laying down very much like on death's brink. You have a -5 to all your d20 rolls. You take double damage, and your speed is 5 feet. And you are laying down prone. That being said, what would you like to do? As you see Equus start to bolt out of the room as he says, "Get up, get up."
I guess I'm gonna have to try to get them off of me because they're right on top of me, right?
No, they are attacking the woman at this point.
Oh, they just
Yeah, they went up and tried to attack the woman. They seem to be more occupied with her than you at the moment.
Well, even getting up is 15 feet, so I can't even get up. I can just
Half your
crawl
movement.
But you could
away.
crawl. Yeah,
Standing
but you
is
could
half
crawl
your
though.
movement.
Yeah, so you have 2 feet, basically. But you could still crawl if you want with your full movement. Crawling is
I'll
a lot more
crawl
better
the
than
5
standing up
feet
and
away. I'll turn to him and I'll cast Blast of Steam.
Oh shit. Okay.
A blast
Now,
of
what
steam-
does this do, good sir?
A blast of steam, 60 feet long, blast from you in a direction you choose. Make a ranged spell attack hits the target. To hit, the target takes 1d6 fire damage and 1d8 piercing damage.
All right. What
As a
type of
bonus
save is
action
this?
on each of your turns before the spell ends, you can change the direction of which the line blasts from you.
Nice. All right. So what kind of save is this?
Strength. But I still gotta
Natural
roll
one.
your attack.
Oh, you have. It's an attack. My apologies. So.
Well, it says that, but it doesn't give me a button to push. A blast from steam.
So just roll a
Range
d20 and add your
spell
spell casting mod. Your spell attack bonus, excuse me.
Yeah. Spell attack 5. Let me roll a
So
20.
d20 plus 5.
Well, it's a straight D20. He has a -5 for exhaustion.
Yep, he has a -5 to the
5
d20
drops
roll.
it to 20, but 5, it's 17.
17, so d20 is 17 minus 5. So you rolled 17 on the d20 plus 5 minus 5, so it's a straight 17.
Yeah.
Plus 5 covers the spell
Yeah,
attack.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it's just a straight roll then. Yeah, so
Yeah.
17. Yeah, 17 will hit them.
Nice.
And it's a d6 fire damage and a d8 piercing damage.
Damn,
We get a 6
that's a lot of damage.
and an 8. Roll it. 12 points of damage to one of the ghouls.
Damn.
And it keeps going for a minute. And then I can...
Yep, and you can bonus action shift. So
Yeah.
you produce steam from your hands, and it just like bubbles up against one of the ghouls to where it just nearly explodes. The smoke still surrounding its now corpse body as you are preparing to move it. Anything else you would like to do, or is that going to be
I
it?
already did my movement. I can't do any more. So.
All right. The gas will then say, "Well, look around the surroundings." It goes, and will just turn towards the wall, breaking it before shifting into the wall. Like you hear commotion going downstairs. You get the feeling that he darted the fuck out. The remaining ghoul upstairs will take another 5 fire damage from
No,
Asclepion's
stay.
fire.
Play with us, you bastard.
Asclepion, I'm assuming an 11 does not hit you.
It is not.
Okay. And then the ghoul will try to attack the woman, which that's a 3, so it will miss. The woman will then say, shit! And will cast Misty Step, just vamping down the stairs, and will make a bolt out of there. The only person left remaining would be Mr. Asclepion Bolts. I believe everyone else has exited out of the room.
Oh,
We
I'm,
come
like,
to Mr. Riot.
I'm not exactly. I'm at the doorway, pretty much getting ready to book it, but I'm here to cast healing if I need to on someone.
Yep. You
So-
are at the bottom of the staircase. Everyone else seems to be running out except for you and Asclepion. Asclepion's at the top, basically dealing with the ghoul, and you're the only one who has yet to leave the room. What would you like to do?
So there's one ghoul left. Is that correct?
There is one ghoul on the stairs, and then one ghoul at the top of the stairs that Asclepion is engaging with. However, the only one that you're seeing is the one on the stairs.
I'm gonna target that one.
Okay.
And then I'm ask for the Silver Maidens or the Lady of Silver to help me out and form a crescent moon with my hand and fling my hand at the creature. It's 120 feet. It's a guided bolt,
Okay.
and I have to roll for a hit. 22 hit.
That will hit him.
16 damage.
16 damage. This will kill this ghoul as it basically just turns to nothingness as the bolt is guided towards this ghoul.
He burns in moonlight.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you would like to do, my friend? As you see the building starting to collapse.
Is Prime Frodo anywhere near me?
Yeah, he is
crawls toward me.
crawling near you. Yeah.
I'm gonna help him up on his feet, and we're gonna try to get out together.
How would you like to get out? There's a window that copper broke through, and then there's the stairs going down.
Probably the closest direction would be the window, because
Yep.
then we still have to go through the building. So we're gonna use my rope and
Okay.
climb down.
All right. You start to climb down Friar Frodo at a more slower pace, and as it does, the building starts to shake and erupts and starts to collapse. However, most of the people have gotten out, except for Asclepion, who is still at the top of the staircase, and because you are hanging from the side of the building going down, and the building starts to crumble. I want first Mr. Ryan Peppers and Friar Frodo to make a.
I'm flying, but I'm helping him get down.
Ah, I see. So just go ahead and make a strength check. As the building collapses and the rope starts to give way, you basically would have to carry Friar Frodel. So just go ahead and make a strength check for me.
Me or him?
Ryan Peppers. But
6.
unfortunately, with the heavy mass of Mr. Friar Frodel, you both starts to fall down. Mr. Sclapion, I need you to go ahead and make a strength saving throw as the building starts to collapse on top of you.
In that one.
Can I scream for him to come to run toward the window?
As you do say that, the building starts to collapse, and we'll see what happens to Sclepion after break. So we're gonna take a quick 5-10 minute break, guys, and then we'll be back with all the action. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes, and we'll see what happens next. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and we will see what happens to the fate of Mr. One Asclepian Bolts, along with Mr. Ryan Peppers and Mr. Friar Frodell. But first, Stitchskin, you're by the time you get there, the building's starting to collapse, and you see a bunch of your friends make it out of there. You see your friend Equus seems like to be riding a spiritual horse similar to his mount. You also see, you also see, Friar Furdell being carried by Mr. One Ryan Peppers, but as soon as the building collapses, you see that Mr. Peppers is having trouble carrying and lifting Mr. Friar Furdell in the air, and looks like that he doesn't have enough strength to carry him as both of them start to plummet 30 feet down. What would you like to do? I'll give you this one instance to do what you
So
can.
you're
But
100%. I'm in the mindset now. If I have to pick between the artificer who's in the building, who's about
well,
to
you
have a
don't know
building.
where he's at. You can't
Okay,
even
well
see where he's at.
So I'm gonna fly down. How far am I from the window?
Will's, what's your flying speed?
50.
50. You are about 30 feet away from the window as you're looking at it from a legit
Okay.
bird's eyes point of view.
Okay, I'm gonna fly to the window.
Okay, you see Mr. Ryan Peppers and Friar Frodell falling 30 feet. What do you do?
Below me. Who is in the room?
Again, wouldn't I be flying? I'm confused. I used the rope. He was on the rope. I
You
lost
failed
strength,
such strength check. You
so
failed
I
a
would
strength
drop the
check to
rope.
maintain.
The
Well,
stairs themselves are 30 feet. I think it's
all right, hold on.
worth it.
Stop.
I'm
So
just confused.
basically, the strength check was to see whether you could hold Friar Frodell while the building's collapsing. While you guys were holding on set rope, while you guiding down the rope, the building collapses, the rope gives way. You don't have much time to retrieve set rope. So the strength check was meant for you to see if you can even hold Friar while you're in the air mid-flight. And unfortunately, you did not succeed, and both of you are falling as you don't have enough strength to lift him up as the building is collapsing. That is why you are falling down 30 feet.
It's fine. I just didn't understand why I was falling because how I envisioned it in my head
Because
was
Friar Frodell is wearing heavy gear as he is a cleric, my friend, and
that's
carrying
not what
a
I
lot of
mean.
supplies on him.
Like used the rope on the building and I was holding one end, so it was like stretched out. The building collapses, right? And then it causes the rope to slingshot down, and since he's heavy, it rips the rope out of my talons. That's what I
Mhm.
was envisioning. But that's why I was confused.
Didn't you say you were holding onto him,
No, the rope.
or was
I
I
was
wrong?
holding onto the rope.
Ah, I see.
That's why I
So
got the rope
and
in the
that
first place.
gotcha. Just a bit confusion, but we solved it. All right.
But
So you
if
see
you
Friar
want me to
Frodell
still
falling.
fall, if you still want me to fall, I'll fall. It's just I just wanted to make sure that I was understanding what happened.
Right. Right. Well, there was less clarification, but we'll move on. But you see Friar falling, and he doesn't look too good. What would you like to do? As I'm trying to find good music for this.
Do I see anyone inside the building?
The building is collapsing in a fire. For a second, you see a humanoid figure, but you don't know what it is in there.
How far does the humanoid figure look like they are away from me?
Um, assuming you're coming from the window, 40 feet away.
Well, I have to do the math. So I moved. So if I dash, I have
You
a
moved
total.
30.
Yeah. So if I dash, I have a total of 100. So even if I
Yep.
dash, I can't get to him in time, and the building will fall on both of us.
Nope. Yep, it'll basically fall on both of you. You decide to headway in there. Because it does seem like you don't have enough time.
There's a difference of 10 feet. I go for Fodell.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check. Make a strength check at this point. As you try to fly, excuse me, down to Farfrodal as he is falling 30 feet.
How much does he weigh?
He is heavy, as he is wearing heavy gear and such. So
I'm
the
wearing
DC's a little
studded
high.
leather, but I weigh 250 pounds. We're talking like 310 at the most, 320.
No. Yeah. Let me make that strength check.
Okay, go ahead, my friend.
13.
So you try to grab him in time, but it's not enough for him to break the fall. It's not like you floatly jets down. He still hits ground, but you didn't make it in time. But you're not going to take as much damage as he would have. So since you're falling 3 feet, you'll be taking half of this fall damage. Which is D10s for every 10 foot, by the way. 11. So you take 9 points of falling damage.
I'm still down. I only had 7 points.
No, you got
Boom.
that 4. You got 7 from the healing word. But you got the additional
Yep.
4. You should be at 11.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I
So,
think is that how it
boom!
works, Equus?
Yeah, that is how it works.
So we get 4
Yep.
and the 7?
No, he got the
Yes.
7. You all get the 4.
Well, he
Yeah.
got healing
Well, he got
worded,
both.
and then the additional healing.
Yeah, he got both.
Yeah, we all
Yep.
got 4. He got 7.
All right, Asclepion, it is time to determine your fate. So, since a building is collapsing, so he, wait, he is vulnerable to all damage, as someone just mentioned out, because of his exhaustion levels.
Look, they both die.
Someone should have kept their mouth shut.
Oh,
So-
no.
Asclepion, this building collapses on top of you. You are 30 feet, so you're going to be crashing 30 feet down. There's a building collapsing above you. There's also fire, and you mentioned during break that you had a bunch of oil on your person. So I'm just going to roll 5d12s, 3d10s, and 3d6s. And we'll see if this kills you or not. And to be fair, I'll roll in D&D Beyond for everyone to see. So 1, 2, 3, boom.
That's a lot of damage.
It is,
You
but
think
there's a
you
building
will
collapse.
put you back together?
A building is collapsing on him. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
you take 56 points of damage, and I think that just instantly kills you right then and there.
Can I flavor my death before I go?
Sure, go ahead, my friend.
So as I'm falling to the 30 feet down, Asclepion realizes that he's dead, and he puts his hand to his chest and begins casting Firebolt. And as he's falling, he says,
One last experiment.
and he casts Firebolt on himself with all his cloth armor on, 9 flasks of oil.
A big explosion erupts amidst this falling, collapsed building, and as the dust settles, you see Friar Frodel aching in pain on his back as you see Equus, your buddy Stitchkin, just appears right then and there. And it seems like everyone but Asclepion is there, but judging from the wreckage or what have you, you could assume that Asclepion has fallen along with this building.
Man, I like this character too.
I'd like to say a brief
Same.
prayer for him and take some wild seeds, like just wildflower seeds I have in my pocket, and I'd like to spread them on this site. I wish I could give him a more proper burial, but at least now I know that the ashes here will help these flowers grow in his honor.
What happens to Fodel as I reach out and try to grab him with my talons as he's falling?
The moment you grab Friar Frodel, his back hits the ground. It seems like you were not too late, but you didn't manage to lift him up in time to break his fall. And he just is laying down on the ground, giving breath. Like,
So he's not dead.
you guys aren't sure. So at this point, he is unconscious at 0 hit points.
Okay, can I roll a medicine
But he
check?
has
I need to
5
attend to him.
levels. But he does have 5 levels of exhaustion. Keep in mind. And 1 more exhaustion level brings him to death. But at
We
this
need
moment, he is
shelter
currently unconscious.
and a place to sleep. We gotta take care of him. We are fucked in many ways.
Stitchkin immediately looks up and gives like the low nod that he's found a place to hole up that's safe and has gear.
Oh, you know somewhere? Oh, we have to go. How far is it?
He kind of like gestures towards the alleyway, towards a manhole cover.
Can
Alright,
I
that's
see,
better than
the-
nothing.
Can I
Let's
see the
go,
zombie
guys.
activity happening around us?
Yes, they are getting closer and closer to the church. You guys have some time to make a getaway, but
Let's just carry
You gotta
Fodel
make up a plan
and
fast.
figure it out in the sewers. He
We're
tries to
starting
pick
that.
him
I'm
up.
gonna just in case. I'm gonna lay my hands on him and put spare the dying.
okay. So
he
he is
doesn't-
So he's still unconscious, but not having to roll death saving throws.
Yes.
So
Okay, let's go.
he is in a very bad unconscious state at this moment.
Yeah, I got a lot of strength. I'll help carry him.
Yeah.
All right, you carry Friar, and at this point, the woman says, "Come down the." And like she was gonna mention like a pathway, but she clearly sees you guys take off with Stitchkin, and as you turn back, the woman looking left and right just vanishes as she goes invisible almost instantaneously. As Stitchkin leads you guys to safety to a manhole cover in which you guys go in before the zombies eventually get closer and closer and closer to this church.
I'm gonna lead
At
them
the
to
moment-
the supply that we
Great
talked
Moon
about.
Maiden.
All right.
Great Moon Maiden. Please give our friend a rebirth. Brave.
As you guys are traversing, you manage to go up to, after like about 2 hours of travel, basically going into the sewers in the city, uh, and navigating it and such. You guys find this stock cache of supplies, and Stitchkin's like pointing at it and stuff.
I'm gonna see if there's any. I'm gonna like pick around, like desperately looking for something for Fodel.
Are there any medicines here?
You check the crate. There is medicine there. Go ahead and just make a general medicine check for me, Equus.
Can I also roll medicine?
Can I help too?
Sure. So go ahead and roll with advantage as you have the help.
22. Woo!
You guys,
I got a nat 20
I rolled
and plus 2.
all right. So, this is the type of medicine that would stabilize a condition. Right now, Friar's currently stabilized but unconscious, but you guys clearly come to the conclusion that, he is very, very close to death. And you think that, this medicine could help him, but not at this time.
Well, I can use my last second level spell, and I'll heal all of us in this process. So I'm gonna start doing a prayer of healing, which does 2d8 plus 2 to 6 people.
What is your prayer?
My prayer is to Saloon, the Moon Maiden, Lady of Silver, the Night White Lady. I ask that the moon bathes us and recovers the stamina and pain and suffering that we are enduring. Please give us strength again.
Go ahead and make so your healing will go through. As it goes through Friar Prodell, just go ahead and make a religion check for me.
Religion check. 14.
14. All right, I'll leave it to you, Friar. Roll a d20 on a 13 or more. You will get up, not dying. 13 or less, you're instantly dead on a straight d20 roll. So, Friar, as you hear religious words coming into your ear, you feel like there's some sort of godly presence amongst you. And as you hear it, unfortunately, that save, that natural one, does not bring you back up. Any last words you want to say to your comrades?
I am walking to the Forge of Gone to work at the forge.
Okay.
And
You
I
see
just
your
killed him.
Four.
Why
you
did I expel?
see you see the last of your friends before closing your eyes, like just the overall injuries that you have occurred throughout the past 24 hours of being near close to death multiple times this day. You wake up and you see the Great Forge, and you see your calling as you march forward, knowing your purpose. You guys see Friar Frodell with a smile on his face, drawing his last breath, collapsing dead on the ground before you.
Everyone also healed for 12. From that
As you
spell.
guys get healed, as you done with your prayer, Ryan, you look at Friar Fidel and he is not up.
What went wrong? What have I done?
Oh, Friar.
Fish skin does not perceive death in a normal, healthy way, so he is gonna check him for gold.
All right. How much gold did you have on your person there,
I'm gonna try to
Friar?
stop him. I'm gonna try to stop him. Just
He
wait.
just starts
Okay.
pecking and rummaging for shinies.
No,
I'm gonna be
we're not.
like, Stitch,
No, no.
that ain't cool in this neighborhood. That doesn't fly here.
Cracking his head to the side, he just backs up. He doesn't really know what he did, but he'll wait.
2 gold and 4 copper pieces.
You see this mount, and then Stitch just drops it immediately after the shock of everyone.
My hands across
You
my
got-
chest doing this.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that would kill you. Jesus. Wait, so in clerics, does like other religions kill?
No, I think it was just like
He had too much exhaustion. He
Yeah,
took.
you were too little too late.
Oh, okay. Too much exhaustion.
Yeah.
Wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought I killed
wasn't
him. You
enough.
made me think I killed him. I was
I
like,
turned
what?
I turned to
I just-
Ryan. And
He needed like a month's worth of rest in those last 2 days, and it didn't work out for him.
Copper turns to Ryan and is like, "How could you kill him like this? What the hell is wrong with you?"
Oh no!
Healed you, healed me, and healed everyone else, but not him. It was not my fault.
He did what he could to keep us alive.
What the doodle do?
Drop
To
out
honor
the
his
window.
memory is by
Out
staying
of the
alive.
window. By
Fishkin
himself.
is gonna sit along his deceased friend and divvy out their rations for the day. And he's gonna
Alright.
give Friar Fodel his last ration. He's just gonna
You gotta-
leave like a piece of bread on his chest, and he's
Sure.
gonna wait for him to wake up and eat it.
Okay.
Stick it on the finger.
Yeah, like right on.
Can I inspect the cultist's supply cache, that medicine, to see if it's enough to the stuff to cure my infection?
You look all around the cache. You're trying to find any sort of medicine. You do find sort of medicine, but it's more like, to relieve pain or use as a way to like heal with like burn marks and, generic medical supplies that at this point is very hard to come by nowadays, which you haven't seen a cache of this much of medical supplies in forever. But nothing to your knowledge based on this cache that would help with this disease that you have inflicted upon
So
you.
I'm definitely gonna have to find that what did she call it?
A greater restoration spell.
Greater
Yeah,
Or
rest-
scroll.
This spell, I got lesser restoration, but I'm a few levels out from greater restoration. But while Ryan Peppers is fending for himself, I want to start digging a grave for Friar.
Yep, you do so in the middle of this sewer, and you're able to make a burial. Now, you guys, obviously, moral choice of this episode. He does have some supplies on him. I'll leave it to you what you guys will do with such supplies before you bury him.
I'm like I've been pretty clear about my philosophies around death is that the best you can do is to give what you accumulated in life to those that survive you. I believe that his biological inheritance is the nutrients in his bones for the plants to have and the gold in his pockets for us to have. That's just me. I believe that honoring his life is making the most out of what he has. But I'm interested in the discussion.
Okay.
Can I take his like sigil of his belief?
Yep.
And
You take.
so it
Yep.
like
You take.
through my armor, like mine is, and just to honor that deity and hopes that they would help him move on to the next life and stuff like that, and just so I have it with me all the time. So he's one of the ones that I lost.
You have a holy symbol of Gond along with you. Gond is a forge god. So he helps with like he's the main god for like blacksmiths. So as far as like weapon making and stuff like that, a lot of weapon makers pray to him for like successful weapons and so on and so forth.
Till I can find another Gond disciple, I'll keep that symbol with me until I can pass it back to them.
Okay.
Stitchskin, before we start like the digging process. Stitchskin
Oh, by the way, Stitch, Friar doesn't go for his bread at all. It's very strange to you.
he kind of like is a little confused when they start to kind of lift him and like move him, and he doesn't really take a defensive stance because he trusts Equus. He just kind of circles around him, kind of like looking around, like not quite sure what's happening. I assume with an intelligence of 7, he doesn't quite get it.
Yeah.
But he does take a minute to brag, and he gestures to the party the dead body of the guy who caused all this.
Yep. You see Carter just laying down on the ground with a bunch of arrows sticking in him.
Well done, Stitches.
Thank you for your vengeance. I'm sure Friar Frodel is grateful. Fortunately, he's gone.
Man, we lost
It is
two
at
party
this
members.
It is at this point you guys hear footsteps from one of the entryways of the sewers. It seems like they're approaching towards you.
Motherfucker, now is not the time.
I'm gonna pull the arrows out of that dead body. Pronto.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking pull out my crook, get ready to beat a motherfucker.
Okay.
I would assume that my character's just thinking that it might be that lady, but I'm gonna still be
Okay.
aware and observing to make sure it's not an enemy.
Don't know that lady, so I'm gonna shoot her.
Alright, that's fair. Alright. Copper, you hear footsteps approach. Seems like they're approaching you and your party. What do you do?
I want to try to hide it in stockpile. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you the first time. Make a stealth check.
With my, I think I'm gonna do the same.
You're making sure you're very okay. You Copper and Stitch just trying to hide in a supply crate.
We're like he like hunches over next to you. He's all excited about it. 21 for stealth.
You guys see a light further ahead. It seems like someone's carrying a torch, and there's another person behind this individual. And as it gets into your guys' field of vision, and you see these two individuals come towards you guys, you get a better idea of what they look like. They will be Bob and Notable's new characters next week.
Are we taking a long rest then?
This is the end of the session. So
as soon as next session starts, we're sleeping.
So we'll find out what new characters Notable and Bob will come up with as these two characters reach towards the party. You two will be making level 4 characters, of course, just to keep up with the party. And we'll see what these new characters are, guys. So until then, it was a very short but very rocky episode of Dead Realms. And we'll see what happens next week. So until then, guys, take care.